Bauer. I'm Associate Dean of the College of Education and Professional Studies, and most importantly to you at this point in time, I'm the Teacher Certification Officer for the university. And in that role, I will be the one who authorizes your final paperwork that will give you a certificate to teach in the state of Illinois. A couple things I want to tell you before we actually take a look at the paperwork. The first is that do you want to teach in the state of Illinois or you plan to go out of state, please get your Illinois certificate. The reason I tell you that is I just had an individual send me a request, get their Illinois certificate. They graduated from Eastern in 1982. They completed the PROOF program, but because it's been so long, they never got their certification. And because it's so long, they have to come back and take additional coursework before they can get their Illinois certification. So if you're going to go back and get a master's degree, you're going to go out of state, you're not going to teach for a while, get your certificate. You're only held to professional development expectations if you are teaching at that time. You have plenty of time to get the teaching experience to move from initial to standard. But it's very, very difficult if you don't get your certificate to later come back and get it because programs change. And if more than 3 years pass, you're held to the rules in place at the time you apply for your certificate. And all we can say is that in 2007, you completed an approved program. So please get your Illinois certificate. Second is your program is recognized throughout the country. All 50 states recognize our program because it's NCATE accredited. As far as I know, all states, you can get at least a certificate with stipulations to teach in any of the other states in this country based upon completing your approved program here at Eastern. Sometimes those stipulations are taking the state test for that state. Sometimes they are a certain number of years of teaching experience. Sometimes they're additional coursework. But in every state that I know of, you could begin teaching and then work towards that, removing those stipulations. One state, because of its proximity, I want you to know about is the state of Wisconsin. There have been some changes in the state of Wisconsin recently. Wisconsin now requires 18 weeks of student teaching. So they don't accept our student teaching. But they will not require you to go back and redo student teaching. They require you to work for a certain period of time, and then we'll remove that stipulation. Okay? So those are just a few things that I wanted to bring up. Now I want to share with you and then answer questions more than anything else.
Let's see if I can get that
Okay.
on your eyes.
Is paperwork so you can get your certificate. The packet you got handed included a cover letter, a procedure sheet, and then what's something that's called an entitlement request form. The cover letter is important because, first of all, what it tells you to do, but also in the middle paragraph, there's a very important statement that you need to be aware of. We will not, cannot release any paperwork, notify anybody that you've completed your program until the week of April 30th. That's finals week. We will begin processing paperwork, marking you as complete that week if you've completed all your requirements and student teaching. That means you can't begin subbing any earlier than that week. Okay? Don't accept a job, don't accept a sub position. The only exception is if you're a post-baccalaureate student who already has a degree. Because to sub in the state of Illinois requires that you have a degree. The other thing I want to tell you is don't race out and get a sub certificate during that week because you will be able to substitute on your regular certificate. There is no reason to pay $35 additional for a substitute certificate, when 2 days later, you'll get your regular certificate. And in fact, you'll be able to get your regular certificate sooner than you get your sub-certificate, unless you haven't taken tests or other pieces. So that's an important piece that you need to know. The second page is information on how to actually go through the process. Everything that we do relative to your certification paperwork is now online, except for the entitlement request form. That still has to be hard copy. But you will complete the entire process with the state board online. And this gives you how to do that. At the same time, when you go log on the first time, if you've got questions, there are screenshots, there's everything that'll show you how to go through that process. Also, if you have any questions or run into difficulties, you can call my office, talk to Pat Holycross or myself, and we will help you through it. Please do not get frustrated by the process. If you start feeling that way, call us and we will help you through it. Okay? But it's very, very easy. It's a wizard that you just click your way through. And then when you're done, you'll wait. You'll finish your student teaching. We'll send you an email saying we've marked you as complete, and you'll go back on that site and fill out the paperwork, and they will issue your certificate to you. You'll have your certificate number at that moment. So there's no process of sending paper back and forth. It does require a credit card to do it this way. If you do not wish to use a credit card, you can still go through the paper-based process. You would just need to contact my office to get that form. Okay. The last page is your entitlement request form. This is the only thing that you need to turn into my office relative to getting your certificate. And I will take these today if you want to leave them with me today, or you can mail them to me. The only request is that we get them by March 5th. Does that mean on March 6th we will no longer accept them? No, we'll continue to accept them as long as you finish them, but we put them in a priority order and start with the ones that are in by March 5th. The form is very simple. Name. We still do need Social Security number, because everything relative to your teaching certificate starts out with your Social Security number. Address and city zip. This address should be the address which you want your final notification sent to. So if that's your permanent address or home, but it's really wherever you'll be the week of April 30th to May 5th. Because this is the one we're using. You'll fill out your certificate address online. The semester year you're graduating or completing your program. If you are finishing student teaching this semester, but you're taking coursework this summer, so you're completing your program this summer, mark summer of 07. Please turn it in still. Because what I will do is once I have the documentation from summer, I will then finish your processing your paperwork without you having to remember to turn this document in. If you're finishing this spring 2007. If something changes, we'll catch it, but it's where you think you're going to complete at this point in time. The email address. This should be the email address that you will be checking April 30th to May 5th. Okay? While we like you to use your EIU address, this one I care more about, that it's one that you will be checking and you will get the notification that your paperwork is completed.